Hi, my name's Robyn Flynn and I'm going to quickly give you a tour of Google NotebookLM. So they've recently done an upgrade which is considerable and I just wanted to share this with you. So if you're not using NotebookLM at the moment, if you have a Gmail account, you already have access. So you just need to go to NotebookLM, and as long as you're logged into your Google account, you will have access. So when you come in, it will actually look like this, and you'll have some notebooks which you've set up, or which you can set up. So you can see I have got a Fair Work knowledge base. I've got one for new breach reporting obligations. This was just a demo that I was setting up to show you. I've got some links to the tax office, and I've just got a couple of other ones as well. One's a not-for-profit that I work with. The other one is just my owner's corporation. I pop all the minutes in there and also a link to the owner's corporation rules, so I can sort of ask any questions that I need answers to. So I'm going to jump into my Fair Work knowledge base first and show you what that looks like. So you can see on the left here, I have added links to all of the different awards that I have clients who pay under. So to do that, all I do is click add source, and then I can add a website link, YouTube, I can paste in some text, or link to a Google Doc. So what I have done is just added in a link. And then from this, I can then ask any questions that I want, and it will only reference what I have asked it to reference. So I guess this is sort of the difference between ChatGPT or even just Googling for an answer, is I've actually said, I want my answer to come from these sources. So as an example, if I put in a question, let me see. If I put, is leave loading payable on the plumbing and fire sprinklers award? It will then search through and come back with an answer. So it says, yes, annual leave loading is payable under the plumbing and fire sprinklers award. Now these little numbers here, if I hover over them, it sort of gives me a little breakdown. And if I click on it, it will actually bring up the place in the award where it says this. Now I don't use this to rely on. I have an HR company, I use HR Central, so I will always contact them if I've got any award questions, but I do like to get some context and just perhaps get a little information before I make that call to them, just so that I feel like I've got a good idea of what it is that I'm talking about. And I can even sort of say, look, 24.3 says that there is leave loading payable. Can you just confirm that? And I just get some additional support there. So it does actually come up with some other suggested questions. So when did the plumbing and fire sprinklers award commence? That sort of thing. But I find that just asking it questions and talking to it in just usual normal language, I get the answers that I want. So you can understand now when I was talking about, I've got my owner's corporation minutes and a link to the owner's corporation rules, how I can find information easily just by asking it questions. This notebook here, the Fair Work Award knowledge base that I use, I will always, before I ring HR Central, I will always come in here and just sort of ask a few questions, just get a little bit of information. So the other way that I feel that you could use it is if you've got something that you want to do a bit of research on. So I'm just jumping into one that I set up this afternoon, and this is the new breach reporting obligations for tax practitioners. So what I did is just grab the breach reporting fact sheet from the TPB. I also just added in some, I copied and pasted some text. And that was this text here, sorry. I just got that from the TPB website. And also a link to, this is a TPB webinar, and this was a TPB webinar as well, I think. And CPA have also got some details on it. So they've just got, I just went to their website. They've got sort of like a blog all about it, and I grabbed that as well. So I put these in, and again, I can ask any questions that I want and it will answer them. Now, the update that I was talking about that has happened recently with NotebookLM is the ability to actually have a discussion, like a spoken discussion. So over here it's called Studio, and you can see there's a play button and an interactive mode. So I'll just jump into the interactive mode. And if I click play audio, what it does is this particular one has got a selection of 2 hosts. Let me just jump back, because you can actually change, there are settings in here so that you can change how many people you're listening to and that kind of thing. But what it's going to do is discuss all of these things that I have ticked. So I can of course untick these and it will focus on just one source, but I want it to focus on all of these sources and give me a good overview of what these new breach reporting obligations are all about. So if I press play audio.
Welcome to the deep dive. We know you're here because you need to grasp those crucial bits of info, right? Without drowning in too much detail. And well, that's what we came for, cutting through the noise and getting straight to what matters. Today, we're zeroing in on the new breach reporting obligations, the ones for
So this is actually a...
Absolutely.
I'll just pause it for a second. This is actually we'll say a podcast that's been custom made for me based on all of these data, all of these resources. Now I'm going to click play and just go a little bit further. So just bear with me, and I just wanted to show you another part to this.
Dealing with these changes firsthand, maybe you're prepping for those tricky discussions or just need a solid grasp of the current landscape in our profession. We've gone ahead and done that deep dive for you, sifting through stuff like those TPB YouTube video transcripts and insights from CPA Australia, all to pull out the real...
Now it does, I can't jump forward to sort of show you what it's going to do, but or what they're going to talk about. But what I can do is actually join in. So I'm going to do that now.
Vital points.
So yeah, our mission today is pretty simple. Demystify these new rules, clarify how they actually affect practitioners like you in the real world. Oh, hey there, what's up?
Oh, hi, my name's Robyn Flynn and I am a registered BAS agent. I'm wanting to go through all of these resources and just get some information about the breach reporting and the implications that it has on me and my business.
Hi Robyn, welcome to the show.
It's great to have you joining us directly.
Knowing you're a registered BS agent, what we're about to unpack will be especially relevant for you and your practice.
We've looked closely at the purpose behind these obligations.
Definitely, it's a good reminder for sure. So what's the end game here? What's the TPB hoping to achieve with these new obligations, these new rules everyone's talking about?
Well, when you zoom out, you see that the objectives are pretty clear. Encourage...
So you can see how you can actually, have a discussion and join in. Now, I don't know, I'm just going to go and see if I can, yeah, I can. I'll fast forward a little bit. Just want to show you some of the content that they actually discuss and just how useful it might be for you.
Now, no breaches are specifically called out in the regulations, although that could change, so we've got to stay on top of things.
So bottom line, to know if a code breach is significant, we need to carefully look at all the specifics, the facts of each situation, right? Case by case.
You got it. And while it is case by case, the TPB, they work on the assumption that most practitioners, they get those professional and ethical standards, they can use...
So where I feel like, let me just say too, this is incredible. I love it. But where I could see this actually being useful is where you might have a bookkeeping business that's got some employees and you want them to perhaps be across different areas, do some CPD. You could have a different let me just go back here, a different notebook, say for payroll tax, say for activity statements, that kind of thing. What else? Superannuation guaranteed charge statements. You could choose which sources you want your employees to be relying on, put them into a notebook like this, name it, say, payroll tax, and then ask them to just listen, once a month you would like them to do half an hour of CPD, or, whatever it is that you would like them to do. You can sort of custom your own CPD for your employees. So I could see that being useful. Another thing that you can pull out is, you can see over here, there is a study guide. So it will generate a study guide for you and a briefing doc. So if there's something like, I remember when we were all doing single touch payroll and, it was so overwhelming. If I could have put all of the different resources from the different places in here and then asked for a briefing doc, then that might have just given me not all of the information that I would rely on, but just given me an overview. So I'm just going to click into this. So this is the briefing document, which is pretty great. And let me see, what is the, what's this one? This is a study guide. Okay, so this is a guide, and then it's got a short answer quiz. I don't know that we'd need this, but interesting to have anyway, have access to. So just jumping back, if you decide that this is something that you want to try, just go to NotebookLM. Click on Try NotebookLM. Like I said, you do need to be logged into your Google account. And once you get through, you will come straight to a page which says add sources. So just add some sources. And when I'm suggesting add sources, all I did was grab this, just copied it and then pasted it in. So just pasted things in here. Like I said, I did paste in some text. I did do a link to a YouTube video. So you can really get links from anywhere. One thing I will say is if it has a paywall, so if you're an ICB member, if you're a pure bookkeeping licensee, because you need to log into those sites with your username and password, you actually can't link here. But if you're looking at the tax office, I think I've got one for the tax office. Let me just jump in and see. I thought that it might be a good idea to add links to the tax office, and then I thought this could go on for days. So, but yeah, in here you can see I have added some links to different places on the ATO website, and that means that I can just ask questions. It will search any of these websites or any of those links. So I hope that that's helpful to you. I hope that you can find a way, or that it might be useful, that you might find a way to use it in your business. I would say, if at the very least, if you just wanted to give it a go, I would say try the Fair Work award knowledge base like what I've set up. Just go to the award, grab the link and put it in. I think one of the benefits is that if details change on the website, then you're getting the most up-to-date information, because it's actually using the link to get the information from, not a PDF, not something that you've printed out and then 2 years down the track it's different. It's actually using the link to get the information. So I would recommend that's a nice place to start. You'll probably find that there's some other things that you could investigate. Like I mentioned, perhaps setting up CPD for your employees if you've got staff. And I think the other one is just, like we've got the quality management system that we're all trying to get our heads around, even the new breach reporting. If you've got something that you want to sort of dive into and understand a little bit better, or just be across, you could just grab a few links, put them in there and ask a few questions. And even if you wanted to generate one of these podcasts and listen to it, it's a fairly passive way to be able to get some information. While you're working, you could just listen to that and, while you're doing your work. I think I explained this, but I'm going to explain it again anyway, just in case. If there's one particular source that you want to reference, let me just jump into my knowledge base again over here. I can deselect all of them and just say it's the Building and Construction General On-Site Award that I specifically want to have a discussion around. I can just tick that, and then whatever it is that I ask down here in this chat box, it will only get the information from this one because that's the one I've ticked. So I always leave them all ticked, but in case you want to narrow it down. Anyway, hopefully that was really useful for you, and yeah, thanks for watching.